Hey, I hope y'all have had a good day. I was just going to show you how I'm going to cook my steak. Now, Randy, he likes, and I didn't have any Dale's, but he likes like the Dale sauce and that kind of stuff. And so on his, I put a little bit of the Allegra and then some Worcestershire that I've got back there marinating with his. With mine, all I'm going to do is I'm going to sear it. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in the skillet and butter. And that's going to be the extent. And then I've got a herb. I'll show y'all a herb butter that I did with just butter and a little bit of rosemary, and some fresh rosemary would have been really good with this. And these are thin steaks. A lot of times if they're thick, like when I cook the prime rib, the tenderloin things or whatever, I will do those in the oven. I'll just sear them and then I'll just do them. And on this, I'm going to put just a tad of the garlic. I like garlic, but I don't like for it just to be an overwhelming. And since I've got garlic in that, so you can see that I've got this, and I'm just going to go in with it. And I'm just going to sear it. It's sizzling good. And I'm just going to salt and pepper it a little bit. And we like ours medium rare. Now you might not eat yours that way, but that's the way we like ours. And so as thin as these are, and they are T-bones, they're the Angus, it's not going to take them very long at all to cook if we're going to leave it at a medium rare. And so I'm just going to sear it. And this does not get quite as hot as my conventional stove top over there does, and so I really am not sure, but I wanted y'all to be able to see, because it's just really, used to I would think that if I'm not going to cook a steak unless I can grill it, and there's nothing better than a grilled steak, and that's for sure. But if you're not wanting to fire up a grill or whatever and just to do something simple, it's good this way. If you've ever tried it this way, just let me know. But I need to grab a knife right quick or when we get ready to cut into it. But it's just cooking really nicely. And the butter, I had olive oil in there first as I got it hot, and then you saw me add the butter, and then a little bit of the garlic. I'm gonna move this way just a little bit so you can maybe see it a little bit better. We're just gonna let it cook. I don't know, maybe about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. I'm not sure that it'll take that long because it's probably already been in here. I don't know, a good 3 minutes. No, because I'm not there yet. So this has been on for about 2 minutes. So we're gonna cook it just a tad longer on this side, and then I'm gonna turn it. And I've got this up as high as it'll go. I just don't want my butter to burn, because it won't have a good taste if my butter burns. But it's smelling good. You can smell the garlic. Get it down in here, and some of the juice of when I say juice, it's the olive oil. This gets a little bit, I guess, cattywampus, as you might say. Let me show you. This is just the herb butter that I made. I just took room softened butter, and I added, and you could just do Italian seasonings, but I did the dried rosemary. I did some parsley flakes and a little bit of garlic in it, and just to put over it, because it gives it a good flavor. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. All right, it looks perfect. See how pretty that looks? I'm going to flip it to this side. Make sure that I can get... Now, I've told y'all before, my grandmother fried steak. Now, she didn't necessarily do T-bone. She would do sirloin and some other different cuts. And she would do a T-bone, usually for my granddaddy. If anybody got a T-bone, it was him. But that's the only way, really, that I knew about steak, as far as that's getting a little bit warm there, was how she cooked it, and that was to fry them. And I've told y'all that story before, how the butcher would always give her a big old piece of beef fat that she would fry up for my granddaddy, and he would get his big hunk of steak, he'd get a hamburger, and then he would get that big hunk of fat that he just loved so much. I hope it's going to be tender. I didn't do any kind of tenderizing to it, and I hope I got enough salt on it, but it's one of those things where I'd rather have to add something than to put too much. But we're going to just let this cook. And that little piece right there is always the best. It's the most tender. Of course, searing, helps to seal in the juices. And I have, like with the The beef tenderloins, I've done those for our Christmas meal, and they'll be about that thick. You know, each one will be about that big around. And I do sear those in with the seasonings, and then I will pop them in the oven in the iron skillet and let them cook a little bit in the oven to finish doing them. But we leave those at a medium rare too. All of us, we like the medium rare. I'm kind of timing how long, just by how long I've been on here. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, I am gonna just tilt it a little bit back this way and let some of that get over on that side. Now, you'd need to cook it longer, of course, if you don't like yours. A lot of people won't eat it medium rare, and I get that. My mother always wanted hers well done, so she always was going to get her meat well done. So this looks about right. I'm going to flip it just one more time, and just a little bit of too much of the blood was coming in on that side. So I'm about to take it up, and we'll just see what it looks like. We're going to put some of that good butter over it. See how pretty that looks? Look at that piece of meat. I better hold it there because it'll go sliding off, and Milo will get my steak, won't he? Okay, let's see. I'm going to put some of the butter over it, and we're going to cut a piece, and we're going to see. See, the butter you just put on there and just let it melt, and it's just so good. Butter's just good anytime on anything. So let's just do some butter over it. And you might not even want the butter. I don't know. I like the flavor of it, and the butter just is so good. Okay. All right, that's how it looks once I put, and you can put as many of the, you know, you might like more of a rosemary flavor. Like I said, if we could have had some fresh twigs of rosemary to put in there, that would have been really good. But I didn't have that, and so I just did the dry. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite of this. Ooh, that is cutting so tender, y'all. Look at that. And I cooked it a little bit more than medium rare, but as long as it's tender, I'm good with it. This piece especially. It's not really red, but let's see. Oh my goodness. That is so good. It needs a little more salt. I'm gonna sprinkle a little more salt on it. But y'all, that was so easy. And you could even do it in a different, if you didn't have an iron skillet, you could do it in another type, maybe a stainless steel or something like that. But anyway, that is so tasty. Look at it one more time. Look how pretty that turned out. And so good, and that butter is so good over it too. So I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you've had a wonderful day today. We're not eating anything fancy with this. I had some tomatoes that needed to be used, and so we're gonna have the tomato and mayonnaise and cracker salad. Randy said he was good with that. We don't have to have any other vegetable, no potato, and that's what we're having, and we're looking forward to it. So I hope that you'll keep faith in your heart, peace in your home, and good food on your table. I love you, and God bless.